distribution. Frequency distribution. As I given an example, let's say credit card. I given example of credit card. In the credit card, what we have taken, would like to sell the credit card. We have to target the particular age group of the people. 1 year old kid cannot purchase. 10 year old kid cannot purchase. Maybe 60 year old guy, I mean old guy may purchase, but he may do the transaction or may not do the transaction. What we need to do, if we want, why we are selling the credit card, there is a more probable chances customer do the transaction even he doesn't have a money in his account. Money means liquidity, I mean debit card money, all this thing or liquid cash. By doing some transaction or he may pay later on the bills. That is the reason people are using the credit cards. Now in this case, which is the effective group of the population? How do we identify the effective group of the population? Here we have a some scenarios. If you want to form a groups, how do we form the groups? We will discuss one by one rule. Okay, let's say I have a individual data points. Let's take an age group. Let's say 1 3 5 7 9 10, again 9 is there, 10 is there, 15 17 19 20 21 25 50 55 22, again 20, like and so on. We have a individual data points. We have one is the one individual data point, 3 is another individual data point, 5 is another individual data point, 7 is another individual data point. Like we have a various individual data points we have in our data. We have a various individual data points now. Now how do I form the groups? Let's discuss the first rules of the groups, then we can discuss about how do we form that groups. Here we have a form. Let's see, 1 to 5 is one group, 6 to 10 is one group, 11 to 15 is one group, 16 to 20 is the one group. This is a default, I mean generally I have taken the group. There is no need to take 1 to 5 always. You may take 1 to 7 also, you may take 8 to 20 also, but we don't have a separate rule. How do we take the rule? We will discuss. This group is also called as the group, or it is also called as the class, or it is also called as the bin. The different names. 1 to 5 is the one group, or 1 to 5 is the one bin, 6 to 10 is the one bin, or 6 to 10 is the class, 11 to 15 is the one class, 16 to 20 is the another class. Here we have the frequency. Here frequency means 10 frequency. 10 means, as an example, here we are given as an example 10. 10 means, here this is the age group, this is the age. We have taken for age variable, we have formed the groups or the bins or the age class. 10 means 10 members. 10 members are within the range of 1 to 5. 10 means 10 members are within the range of 1 to 5 age group. 6 to 10 means 15 as an example. 15 means 15 in our total data points, in our total data series, 15 data points are within the range of 6 to 10. For example, if I take the 20, what does it mean? 20 points are within the range of 11 to 15. For example, here we have taken 30. 30 means 30 data points are within the range of 16 to 20. Right? Is it clear, guys? Who are the call? Are in the age group. This is the start of the group. This is the 1 is the start of the group, 5 is the end of the start of the group or start of the class. This is the end point of the group. Again 6 is the start of the group, 10 is the end point of the group. 11 is the start of the group, 15 is the end of the group, 16 is the start of the group, 20 is the end of the group. Here 1, 6, 11, 16 all are the start of the groups. 1, 6, 11 and 16 all are the start of the group. Start of the groups are called as the lower class limits. Start of the groups are called as the lower class limits. 5, 10, 15, 20 are called as the end of the groups. Those are called as the upper class limits. 1, 6, 11, 16 are called as the start of the group. Start of the groups are called as the lower class limits. 5, 10, 15, 20 are called as the upper class limits, or end of the groups. End of the groups are also called as the upper class limits. Okay. Now, next, what do you mean by group midpoint or class midpoint? Next point will be the what do you mean by the class midpoint? Class midpoint. How do we calculate the class midpoint? Here 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. Here this is the group or class. Here frequencies which are 10, 15, 20, 30. Class midpoint is nothing but average of the start of the group, average of the start of the group as well as the end of the group. That means 1 plus 5 divided by 2, 6 plus 10 divided by 2, 11 plus 15 divided by 2, 16 plus 20 divided by 2. That is nothing but 1 plus 5 is nothing but 3, 8, 16, 13, 8, 18. These are the class midpoints. Class midpoints are nothing but average of lower class limit as well as the upper class limit of a group, or simply we can say average of start of the group as well as the end of the group are called as the class midpoint. We have to explain that what do you mean by the now we have a class midpoint. What do you mean by the class width? Class width. How do we? Yeah.
Sorry to disturb, Koti.
Yeah.
How you calculated that frequency? Frequency. We missed the audio.
Frequency means just we said that 10 means 10 members are fall. Let me draw that again. Here 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20. We have taken as a default group. 10 means
Okay.
10 means 10 members are within the range of 1 to 5 age group. Let's say 20. We are taking that as an example. We have taken that 20. 20 means 20 members are within the age group of 6 to 10. 30 means 30 members.
Okay, it's just assumption you have given.
Yes, as an assumption.
Just assumption you have.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
16 to 20 means 40 as an example. 40 members are within the range of 16 to 20. But we don't have any real data. When we are doing the practical data, we will get the actual number. As in just we are assuming 10, 20, 30, 40. Now we are going to discuss about the class width. Class width is nothing but the difference between the consecutive two lower class limits or two consecutive upper class limits. The difference between consecutive to lower class limits, consecutive to lower class limits, or two upper class limits. Let's say Here 6 to 5, 1, 6 minus 1, that is 5. 11 minus 6, that is again 5. 16 minus 11, 16 minus 11 is the 5. Even you can take the 10 minus 5, 15 minus 10, 20 minus 15. This is all are same. And one of the main important rule, class width should be the same for all the classes. In real time also, class width should be the same for all the classes. Class width should be the same for all the classes. Class width should be the same for all the classes. Let's say as an example, let me give you an example. So let's say if you have 1 to 5, 6 to 10, let's say 11 to 15, 16 to 20. Let's say 1 to 5 is the 10, 6 to 10 is 0. That means none of the customers or none of the records or none of the data point which are within the range of 6 to 10. Here 6 to 10, 0 means none of the records which are not within the range of 6 to 10. 11 to 15 is 15, 16 to 20 is the 10, example, as an example. So none of the customers are not within the range of 6 to 10. So ideally what we will think, do we need to keep the track? Do we need to keep, or do I need to discard that group? Ideally people think we need to discard that group, because none of the customers are not falling within the range of 6 to 10. Let's discard this one. Let's discard this one. What are the issues we are getting? Now, what do you mean by class width? The difference between the two consecutive lower class limits or two consecutive upper class limits. Here, what are the two consecutive lower class limits? 11 minus 1. Right? We don't have this group, right? Because we discarded that one. We don't have that group. So 11 minus 1, that is 10. Here, even 15 minus 5, that is again 10. 16 minus 11, that is 5. 20 minus 5. So here in the first group, class width is 10. Second group, class width is 5. As per the basic mandatory rule, class width should be the same for all the classes. But in our case, does it the same? No, it is not the same. For that purpose, what we have to do, even particular group of the class, the frequency becomes the 0. Still, we have to keep that group. Even particular group of the particular group of a data is 0. Still, we need to keep that group. Even particular group of a data is 0. Still, we need to keep that group. Even particular group of a data is 0. Still, we need to keep that group. Okay. Any questions? Hello.
No, Koti, you're fine.
Yeah. Now, what is the next one? How do we calculate the relative frequency? How do we calculate the next topic is relative frequency. Relative frequency means 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. Let's say 10, 5, 50, 20, 25. These are the frequencies. Relative frequency is nothing but this is the total. How much is the total? 25, 30, 50, 60. Relative frequency is nothing but frequency of a particular class divided by the total frequency. Frequency of particular class or group. How much? 10 divided by total frequency. How much is the total frequency? 60. Here in this case 5 divided by 60. In this case 20 divided by 60. In this case 25 divided by 60. This is the relative frequency. When I adding up all the relative frequency, it should be equal to 100%. That is nothing but 1. 10 divided by 60, that is 1 by 6. 5 divided by 6, 1 by 12. 1 by 3, almost again 5 by 12. When I adding up all these three, it should be equal to 1. That is nothing but 100%. 100%. Here relative frequency means frequency of particular class or group divided by total frequency. Frequency of particular class divided by the total frequency. That is nothing but relative frequency. No need to, of course. How do you may get that out? I do have a thousands of records. How can I do it? Calculate manually. No need to calculate manual. All these things. We have a separate functions. All are available in R tool as well as a Python, SAS, everything. Just what we need to do, how it is working. That is what we are understanding from here. Other name of frequency distribution also called as a group data, because we are grouping the individual data point. Next one will be our cumulative frequency. How do we calculate the cumulative frequency? Cumulative frequency means 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. Here 5, 10, 15, 20. Here cumulative frequency means first 5 will be the 5 only. Here 5 plus 10 we are adding, we get the 15. 15 plus 15 we got the 30. 30 plus 20 we will get the 50. Here we will get the 50 will be equal to 50. This will be equal to this one. This is nothing but cumulative means first row will be the first row. Second row we are adding up the second row plus first row. Third row will be third row plus first two rows. Fourth row will be fourth row plus last three rows. Last three rows means third row, second row, first row. Fifth row is nothing but fifth row plus fourth row, third row, second row, first row. This is nothing but your cumulative frequency. Here one more important point. Here each and every class, here 1 to 5 is one class, 6 to 10 is one class, 11 to 15 is one class, 16 to 20 is one class. Each and every class we have some important rules. Each and every class should be independent with the other class. Let's say here the number is 5, right? The next class should not start with the 5. It should be more than 5. It can be 5.01, it can be 5.1, it can be 6, but it cannot be 5. The reason is that if I keep the 5 again in the second row also, the value will be repeating, the count will be repeating. That is the reason we should not keep the same value. First point will be each and every class should be independent with the other classes. Each and every class should be independent with the other classes. Now second row will be and each and every class should be mutual exclusive. Each and every class should be mutual exclusive. First point, should be independent means one class should not depend with the other class. What are the numbers in the first 1 to 5 should not depending on the 6 to 10 group. That is the independent. Mutual exclusive means they should not be the same class. 1 to 5, again it should not start with the 5. It should start with the 5.01, 5.0001. It should be greater than 5. Now, in general questions which come to your mind will be, so you are forming 1 to 5, 6 to 10 like that. Here is the small numbers, we can easily get it. What if I have thousands of numbers? How many groups I can form? What should be the distance between the two groups? Let's say 1 to 5 is one group. How much I need to keep? Do I need to keep always 1 to 5? Not mandatory. How much I need to keep? That is the distance between the, what is the distance should be between the lower class limit versus upper class limit. How do we calculate that portion? For that, we need to identify that portion is also called as the bin distance. Distance, right? Bin, we said the class distance or group distance or bin distance. Bin distance is, what do you mean by bin distance? Bin distance is nothing but range divided by how many bins you want to create. Do you want to create the 5 bins? Do you want to create the 10 bins? Do you want to create the 20 bins? Or do you want to create the 100 bins? Number of bins you want to create. So here in this case, range, how do we calculate? Maximum value minus minimum value. Let's say you want to create the 10 bins, it will be 10. Let's say, let me tell you one simple example. Let me go with the one simple real-time example. Okay. Okay, sir. Any questions were on the call? Any questions were here? Okay. Here in this case, what we are going to do, let's say we have a age variable. Minimum age is 1. Minimum age is 1. Maximum age is 101. Minimum age is 1. Maximum age is 101. Now, what is the range? What is the range? 100 maximum value minus minimum value. Maximum value is 101 minus 1, that is nothing but 100 will be the range. Now we want to calculate the, we want to form the bins. How do we form? Now we want first, if you want to create the bin, first we need to understand bin distance. What is the bin distance? Range divided by number of bins you want to create. Let's say you want to create the 10 bins. Let's say you want to create the 10 bins. 100 divided by 10, right? That is how much will be that bin distance will be 10 in this case. Let's say you want to create the 5 bins. Then what is your bin distance? How many bins you want to create? Let's say you will keep the 5. Range divided by 5. How much it will be? The 100 divided by 5. That is will be equal to 20 bin distance. Let's say you want to create the 20 bins. 100 divided by 20. That is nothing but 5 bin distance for each bin. Now we need to understand how do we create this one. First, let's say how many bins you want to create. Bin 1, bin 2, bin 3, bin 4, bin 5 and so on, bin 10. Here bin 1, what will be the bin 1? Minimum value plus minimum value 2, minimum value plus bin distance. Right, Andy? Or if you want to can keep or 1 into bin distance. Okay, here in this case 1 plus 1 into. Here how do we write? Minimum value in our data 1, 2, 1 plus bin distance how much? 10. That is nothing but 1 to 11. Second will be greater than 11. Ideally we don't know, it can be a 12 or it can be 11.05 or it can be 11.01, it can be 11.99 or it can be 12. So it assume that 12. Again min plus 2, second min, right? 2 into 10, that is a 12 to 21. Again assume that 30, the next 22 to 1 plus third bin, right? 3 into 10, that is equal to 20 to 31. Next fourth bin, right? 30 to 1 plus 4 into 10, that is equal to 32 plus 41. Next fifth bin, right? How much it will be? 42 plus 1 plus 5 into 10, 42 to 51. Last bin will be 92 plus 10 into 10, that is the plus 1, 92 101. Like that we will calculate. Don't worry, we are not going to do it manually. We have a yeah. It can, as example, it can be 11.01 also, right? It cannot be the, just as an example I taken the 12, but we are not sure, right? It can be 11.01 also, right? That is how we can calculate the bin distance. Any questions about the frequency distribution? We are going to do this. We have a one session like exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis means exploring the data, and by using the given raw data, we need to generate the insights. We need to find out the useful metrics or useful key parameters. For that purpose, we are going to use this frequency distribution. How do we do? Later on sessions, going session, we will do this one. Sir, any questions who are on the call or who are here? But
I'm okay with the coding. I'm okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, 12 means, just as an example, 12 we have taken. It can be 11.01 also, right? It can be anything. Just as a rough example, we have taken. How do we calculate the bins, all this thing? It is not the correct example. As a rough example, we have taken this. Yeah. Any questions, sir, who are here, who are on the call?